Kevin Mather had 26 years to do it. 26 years, vanished. Who remembers yesterday's show? We did 23 minutes on this show, went on Le Batard as well, not on a Thursday, and talked about Kevin Mather and the comments he made at the Rotary Club in Bellevue, Washington. And I told you, wait to see. He will be terminated or resign post-haste. I was a wimp yesterday, and I said before the start of the season, but if I were really on my game, I would have said before the sun sets. We heard nothing yesterday. Crickets. Then the Players Union came out with a statement, which we're going to talk about, and then it was announced that Kevin Mather indeed resigned. The owner, John Stanton, said, before we had a chance to terminate him, he resigned. That is absolutely not true. Nobody in the middle of a long-term contract gets the ability to walk in and resign prior to being terminated. You want to get paid. Even if you're going to be terminated for cause, you don't resign because you keep open your litigation possibilities to get paid on your contract. But it doesn't matter. He's gone. No longer in Seattle, no longer in baseball, no longer on any committees, no longer giving speeches to anyone. He'll now go into a period of complete quiet and disappear, and then he will try to start again, a few appearances here or there in the community. He'll go full Matt Lauer, be seen out in the streets, start the apology tour, start meeting with different constituents. But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about what John Stanton said and then what happened between the commissioner and John Stanton. The reason why there was a delay. You know, I ran a team very differently than people do today. I didn't sleep a lot. I had an owner, Jeffrey Lurie, who was always available, always reachable, because he didn't sleep a lot either and always answered his phone. I was able to access the commissioner at any time of day or night, or someone who worked for the commissioner, whether it be Dan Hallam or someone else. When something happened of an acute nature with the team, I don't need to wait to try to reach someone by phone to discuss what the plan is. I'm on the phone immediately to the owner. We have a plan in place, and then we tell the commissioner what the plan is. In this case, John Stanton was speaking to the commissioner, may have even received a call from the commissioner. Hey, John, we got a problem. And the problem is not about my anger that Kevin Mather talked about translators and interpreters, that he said that Kyle Seager's overpaid, that you were sullying your prospect, Julio Rodriguez, and his inability to speak English when, in fact, he does speak English. That's not the issue, Kevin. That's not the issue, John. The issue for us at the commissioner's office is that you started an absolute shitstorm about bargaining. You were honest about service time manipulation. You can't be when you're in the chair. Let Samson do it. He's not a president anymore. But a current team president cannot admit that there is service time manipulation. Of course there is, and everyone knows it. The union knows it. The owners know it. The commissioner knows it. The players know it. Everyone knows it. However, it's unspoken. It's unwritten. Shh. Be very, very quiet. Be very, very quiet. Kevin Mather was not quiet about the service time manipulation, and the union took advantage. The union released a statement talking about how disappointing it is that owners and team presidents think this way and act this way, how little regard they have for players and for our system. The union knew very well before releasing that statement how owners thought, except when you have an actual team president, say at Wally's team president, and you're going into a collective bargaining negotiation, you get to release that type of statement. That then causes MLB to release a statement. MLB statement saying, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. He doesn't speak for us, I'll tell you that. We play by the rules, and I guarantee you that whatever Kevin Mather was saying, he had no power over players. He had nothing to do with any moves on the field. He's rogue, baby, R-O-G-U-E. Forget about his view of foreign-born players. I don't care about that. That's what they're saying in baseball. John Stanton, the owner, was told to say in his statement, I have no idea what anyone's talking about. Kevin Mather could talk about players until he's blue in the face. Blue in the face. And guess what? He has nothing to do with the on-field product. I just want to give you the quote from his statement because it was pretty good when he said, his comments were inappropriate. They don't represent our organization's feelings about our players, staff, and fans. There's no excuse for what was said, and I won't try to make one. I offer my sincere apology. Nice. We have a lot of work to do to make amends, and that work is already underway. What did they do yesterday to start the amends? Did they call the players? Did they call Iwakuma and say, I'm sorry, your interpreter's definitely going to be hired at $75,000. We'll give him a little raise too. Hey, Julio, it's John Stanton. Yeah, the owner. Listen, ignore Kevin. I'm very proud of everything you've done. No. Everyone in the Seattle Mariners remains committed to our mission of winning on the field and serving our fans and communities off the field. We will demonstrate that commitment through our actions. I mean, this statement is obviously from Statement 101. He goes on to talk about the fact that Jerry DiPoto is the GM. He's in charge of all on-field moves. He's in charge of when players are called up and when they're not. Horse hockey. There is not one president of baseball operations or one GM who has the sole voice in when a player gets called up. Not one. The team president and the team owner are consulted with roster management moves, not 5% of the time, not 95% of the time, 100% of the time. We would not allow a player to be called up, nor would any other team, any other executive. Hard stop, period, end of story. Don't say it, John, when you know it's not true. Don't try to tell people it's raining and you are pissing on their legs, especially now. Hi, I'm Jerry DiPoto. I run the Seattle Mariners, and I'll decide when Jared Kelenic is called up. Really? Nah, we're going to call him up right now. Do you think Tatis was called up by the Padres, by A.J. Preller? They can hug all they want during the press conference. They can show love. And A.J. Preller can say all he wants to Fernando Tatis Jr. Hey, Fernando, the owners, by the way, they'll sell out their owners. Believe me. Hey, the owners were going to keep you down for part of April. But no, I wanted you on the team immediately. It's like the Mets GM saying, oh, yeah, Pete Alonso, I chose for you to be on the team, not the Wilpons. I wonder if the Wilpons knew they were selling the team and didn't care when Pete Alonso was going to hit arbitration. Who would ever do something in contemplation of a sale? It's outrageous. Who would plan like that? I'm not trying to make a joke of what Kevin Mather did. I am trying to say that all the statements that went back and forth were on the wrong issues. The union was focused on service time manipulation. The league was focused on it. John Stanton was focused on it. And I was far more focused on misogyny, on the events of 2018, on the loose lips about how he felt about interpreters and players who don't speak English. That's what causes you to be terminated. A little dose of honesty? Is that the position that MLB wants to take? Let's hold on one second. Is the position that the Mariners and baseball want to take is that he was terminated for the honesty about the service time manipulation? No, that's not a good position to take under any scenario. It is far better to take the position that in totality, what Kevin Mather did on February 5th confirmed what we hoped not to be true. Confirmed that we thought after 2018 that Kevin Mather would improve himself and be a better man, just be better, as Coco would say. And we now know for certain that he wasn't. I had no idea, John Stanton could say, but he wouldn't be telling you the truth because, of course, he knows his team president. He talks to him every single day. I had no idea he thought this way or that way. I had no idea he had the feelings that he had. I had no idea that he knew when players were brought up or not brought up. Come on. Be better. All of you. So what they're doing in Seattle right now, day 2, PM, post-Mather. They're trying not to take calls from the commissioner's office, but they're in spring training, and the media is going to be there to talk to players today. They were closed to the media yesterday. What you're doing, if you're the president of the team, which is now John Stanton, the owner and president and CEO, You are going down to meet your team. If you are not in Arizona, you are getting on a plane and getting to Arizona post haste. And you are sitting with your players. You are starting with a one-on-one with Kyle Seager. You are starting with a one-on-one with Iukama. You are starting with a one-on-one with Julio Rodriguez. Then you are meeting the entire team. And what you are saying to them is very simple. I'm sorry. It is a very poor reflection of me as an owner that I employed him as a president. You are going to sell Kevin Mather so far under the bus because you've got to find a way to have separation. Separation that's super hard to accomplish with a 26-year employee. Trying to prove that a 26-year employee had nothing to do with culture, that the fact that you swept under the rug what he did in 2018 with a simple note to the file and some settlements to some women, you now have to own it because the players are going to give you one more chance. The media will give you one more chance. Your fans will give you one more chance as an owner, John. You can't talk to performance on the field because you don't have that to hide behind. But once you meet with your players after the one-on-ones, then you meet the media. And when you're meeting the media, you talk to the media as though they are your fan base and you count on your fan base. Don't do it through a statement. Don't do it through anything other than a direct communication through the media, talking to your livid fan base. We hear you. We acted immediately. I'm sorry it took till the middle of the day. That's my fault. The minute I saw the video of that exchange, I should have terminated Kevin. I shouldn't have given him a chance to resign. I should have known the speeches that my president makes. I should have been in better touch with my communications officer to understand all appearances, knowing Kevin the way I did, knowing that there's an opportunity for him to say the wrong thing or to feel the wrong way given what happened in 2018. I pledge to you not to talk about it anymore. I pledge to you to act. And here's the first action I've done. Our culture inside our offices is completely changed now. Here are the people in place to make sure that there will be no workplace harassment ever again. Here is what's in place on the baseball side that started today. We give all of our executives now a list of players. We let them talk to the players, interact with the players so they know for themselves the great attributes that our players have. The great ability they have to give interviews, to speak English, to speak multiple languages, to do things in the community. We are making sure that every executive gets a list of every single community initiative that all of our players have, because our players do things for you all the time and we want them to be recognized. Yes, we have a business to run. Yes, we have failed you on the field. But what took place on February 5th will never capitalize, never happen again under my watch, because I'm going to tell you something right now, ladies and gentlemen of Seattle. My name is John Stanton. I'm the owner of the team, and it all stops and starts with me. If we have one more employee who engages in workplace harassment, if we have one more employee who says something publicly that shows a level of intolerance and racism, do you know what I'm going to do? I am going to step down. I will sell the team because I care more about Seattle and you, the fans, than I do about me owning this team. That's the difference that we're going to make every single day from this day forward. Please allow us to do it. That's what you do if you're John Stanton. Because this story is not going away. This story has legs. And in media and in PR, when a story like this has legs, you can't quash it. You have to make a new story. And there's only one type of story the Mariners can do. When we do wait to sees, by the way, we'll tell you when they happen and when they don't. The wait to see yesterday is Mather will be terminated and resigned, and he did. That was a yes.